Hello everyone, welcome to Excel Insider. In today's lesson, we're diving into a really useful Excel skill, finding the last cell with a value in a row. There are a few different ways to do it, and I'll walk you through each step nice and simple, so you can pick the method that works the best for you. First, let's look at the lookup method. The lookup function searches from left to right in a row and returns the last non-empty value it finds. For example, if your row contains monthly data from January to July, with some blank cells in between, lookup will return the value from the rightmost filled cell. This makes it a dependable option for inconsistent data patterns, and it works well even in older versions of Excel, without requiring dynamic arrays or add-ins. Select a random or helper cell, in this case H2, enter the following formula. Now let's break this down together. B2 through G2 is the range or the row that we are checking. This part of the formula inside the bracket, it's basically looks at each cell in that row and asks, is this cell empty or not? If the cell has something, Excel marks it as yes. If the cell is blank, Excel marks it as no. Dividing by 1, now we turn those yes/no checks into numbers. A cell with something becomes 1, a blank cell becomes an error, because you can't divide by 0. The number 2 here is just a trick. Since our array only has ones for filled cell, lookup tries to find 2 but can't. So it settles on the last one it sees, then it returns the corresponding value from B2 through G2, which is the last non-blank cell. Now, if you press Enter, you can see Excel return 38 because it was the last filled cell from this row. Let's move on to the next method. Next, we have the index method combined with max and column. This approach calculates the exact position of the last filled cell, and then index retrieves its value. It's a bit more advanced but very precise. Let's check it out. Select a random or helper cell, enter this following formula. Let's break this down together. By column B2 through G2 minus column B2 plus 1, this part of the argument check each cell and allocate a position number to them. Like it will count B2 as 1, C2 as 2, D2 as 3, and so on. The next argument, if, it basically checks all the position numbers and will only keep the ones that has value in it. For example, it will keep the one B2 because it has value, but it will ignore the D2 because it doesn't contain any of value. The max argument track downs the largest position number because it is most likely the last filled cell in that row. The index checks that cell and retrieves the value from that. Now, you have to press Enter to get the result, but if you're using an older version of Excel, you have to press Ctrl plus Shift plus Enter to do the same thing, because it's an array formula. So now you can see the result is 38, because it was the last filled cell in that row. If you're only interested in knowing the column number of the last filled cell, not the value itself, you can use this formula. It's useful when the column index matters more than the content, such as in dynamic table generation or logic-driven templates. In a helper cell, enter this following formula. 3 functions work together here. The if function checks with each cell in the range which are non-empty. The column function then returns the column numbers of those non-empty cells. Finally, the max function finds the largest column number, which tells us the position of the last filled cell in the row. So now if you click Enter, you can see the result is 5, which is referring to the column number 5, this column. But there is one problem. This only gives us a number like 5 for column E, and numbers aren't always intuitive when working with columns. So what if there is a different formula or a new function that can give you the exact column letter you're looking for instead of a number? Let's check that out. In the same helper cell, enter this new formula. It's almost like the previous one. The max if column will remain the same, just we added 2 new functions, address and substitute. Now, what does it do? The if function checks which cells in the range are not empty. The column function then returns the column numbers of those non-empty cells. Finally, the max function finds the largest column number, which tells us the position of the last filled cell in the row. Then, by adding address function, we turn that number into a reference like E1. Then with the substitute function, we strip away the row number and are left with just the column letter. This way, you do not only know the position, but also see the exact column letter where the last value appears. To make things simpler, let's check out the result. Press enter. You can see there is a letter E, which is referring that the last value appeared in the column number E. Now it's definitely better than the number because it gives us the freedom of directly going to the column that the result or the outcome we're looking for, instead of counting each column to get to the exact number. That's it. Let's move on to the next method. Let's learn a new method called VBA, short for Visual Basic for Applications. Not every formula you might need exists in Excel, so VBA lets you create your own custom functions by writing a little code. By default, VBA isn't turned on in Excel, so here's how to enable it. Go to the File menu, select Options, then click on the Customize ribbon. On the right-hand side, scroll down below and check the Developer box. Click OK. As you can see on the ribbon, a new tab has been opened known as Developer. Now, if you click on that, click on Visual Basic to open the VBA editor. To write the program, click on Insert, then Module. In this tab, you can write down the code. Let's enter the following code. As you can see, we are telling Excel to create this custom function, which is to find last cell value in row. The entire programming is basically telling Excel to check all the columns from right to left and stop at the first non-empty cell. When it found the first non-empty cell, it will exit the function automatically and stop searching for more. Now you need to save this function, so go to the save icon, click on that, and click Save. Your function has been created. Let's check if it works or not. Go to the workbook, take a helper cell. Now write down the custom function that you created. Equal to last cell value in row. Enter the range number in which row you would like to apply this formula, which is P2 through G2. I would like to apply this custom function in this range. Now if you click Enter, you can see Excel returns the value 38 because it was the last filled slot in this row. That's all. If you have access to Excel 365 or 2019, the Excel lookup function makes this task more readable. It can search from the end of the row and return the first non-blank cell it encounters. In a helper cell, enter this following formula. Basically, it will check the row P2 through G2 from the end, and the first non-empty cell, when it encounters that, it will just return that as a result. That's how this formula works. So press enter, you can see the result is 38 because it was the first non-empty cell from the end of the row. That's all for today. Please leave a comment down below if you have any doubts, and visit Excel Insider for more Excel knowledge. Thank you so much for watching.